officer.
chemicals.
That's what the suspect is wanted for. Again, we
Always.
don't know if there's anything more, if there's any other persons or people in that pickup.
But it's obvious that right now that is not what he's concerned about. He has been even slowly at times, picking up speed at times, very erratic and very dangerous. So we are again in Southeast Los Angeles right now as we watch this police chase go through the streets of these, surface level streets. As Gio and I were mentioning earlier, he has not tried to get, or they have not tried to get on the freeway, but they have blown through stop signs, stop lights, intersections, driving on the wrong side of the lanes. This is a guy that they are definitely going to want to
into the police cars. Yeah, they hate that.
What is going on here and how they can safely bring this to a close.
And right now, we do want to welcome in retired LAPD pilot Dave Avila on the phone. Dave, can you hear us all right? I want to check in before we start asking you questions.
Yeah, no problem at all. Gio Hunter, it's good talking to you. Just a shame it's going to be after one of these type of pursuits. We've had so much stuff here going on lately regarding officers.
Well, we certainly appreciate you giving us a few minutes of your time this evening. First thing I was going to throw to you is how often do you see pursuit suspects sort of treat their car kind of like a battering ram? I think that was the craziest thing that we noticed here so far was this suspect throwing the car into reverse and then ramming directly into an LAPD cruiser.
Yeah, he's thinking that if he backs up into him, he's going to just cause their airbags to deploy and they won't be able to pursue him any longer. No doubt, especially with that pickup truck. But numerous counts of ADW on a police officer utilizing a motor vehicle. This is a multi-felony type suspect, so they will stay with them. We don't know what type of suspect he is as far as weapons involved, anything like that. However, I mean, it's you could see by the nature of his response and his pursuit tactics, backing up into officers, he has no intention of stopping.
No intention of stopping, and no regard, excuse me. Yeah, sorry about that. No regard for these officers' safety as well, but obviously the safety of the people on the roads as well. I mean, what right now is going through law enforcement officers' minds as they see a driver like this become so erratic, how they, take those steps to walk the fine line of protecting the public while also still, maintaining their follow on this guy?
It just comes right back to all the factors that have to be considered in any type of pursuit. Public safety is number one, officer safety, nature of the offense, any number of suspects, the speed involved. I mean, here we do get some speeds that are creeping up there at 50 plus miles per hour. So, that's why they're going to go ahead and they'll stay with this guy here. Is because of the if he does this to a black and white with law enforcement officers inside of it, you can imagine he doesn't care who's in front of him or what he has to do to maintain his freedom. So that's where the public safety comes into effect.
Well, one of the other things we've noticed, Dave, is that at least through the course of when we've been keeping our eye on this pursuit, and here as we come up on traffic, it's just sort of the dangerous thing. And I know you're on a delay, so you'll see it in a second. But the fact that this suspect has been on surface streets the entire time, does that play into, is that helpful for officers right now? Because you've mentioned many times before when we've called you that no attempt to get on a freeway would indicate that they're at least familiar with the area and they're looking for a way out, but we know that more often than not doesn't end up actually happening.
Yeah, exactly. They're familiar, and like you said, obviously he's familiar with the area. He hasn't hit a dead end, which is extremely capable of doing here because it's an industrial type area, very familiar with it. So you're going through neighborhoods, industrial area. So he's obviously sticking around the area that he's familiar with, and what he's planning, we have no idea, especially with the speed, which I'm glad he's not has it floored like we've seen before, 60, 70, 80 miles per hour through neighborhood streets. But he does pick it up every now and then. So the desperation is there.
Definitely, as we watch him kind of creep into the 50s there on another surface street where, people are walking their dogs, they could be trying to cross the street, those intersections, red lights, all of the things that could potentially put people in danger. I'm curious, how does this truck play into, as we see him get to a very busy intersection? It'll be interesting to see, just going to go right on through it, stopping that car there. But this truck cannot be easy to maneuver. Obviously, we're not seeing one of these very small cars or fast cars that maybe we typically see in a pursuit that gives police a challenge. But how difficult is it to maneuver a truck through streets like this? And is that kind of working to their advantage?
eye drops.
Yeah, it could be because this is a little bit heavier. It's not a dually truck, but it's it's a heavy pickup, heavy duty type. But I don't think that's such a factor as far as maneuvering through these streets. But one thing I have noticed during his pursuit is that he did have some TC damage, some collision damage to his right rear.
Yo, he's zooming in these parts of the town, though.
It looks like it, and the reason I mentioned that is because it looks like it's getting pretty close. The wheel well's getting pretty close to the tire. So, if anything, hopefully it would just start hitting that tire and kind of stop it. Because I mean, as far as a pit maneuver, that may not happen because of the situation. Yeah, I'm still waiting to try to find out exactly what type of suspect this is, because it's he's doing way more than the average.
Yeah. We had heard initially, assault on a police officer. So obviously that elevates this to a situation that, would put him as somebody that they are not wanting to provoke in a way that would put the public in danger, as you mentioned earlier, that being the #1 concern here. But yeah, I mean, just very erratic driving. I mean, nearly hit that patrol car there as it made that right-hand turn. I mean, what's going through your head right now, the decisions that are being made to make sure that they bring this to an end, but they do so safely?
Exactly what they're doing. They're just staying right on top of the black and whites, right on them, the lights and siren, the lights on the helicopter on top of it. It's a good warning sign. It's just like anytime we're on the street, civilians, and ourselves included, we hear a siren, we hear the flapping of blades in the helicopter. We're going to start looking around to see what's going on. Notice how, and I am on your time actually with this new system that we have. Fantastic. And I noticed that he just turned his headlights off, kind of swerved there right now. So a little bit of a change here. All of a sudden the lights go off. So maybe he's trying to think of a way to get out and take off on foot.
Well, and Dave, to your point earlier, when we were getting a look at that right rear damage, it was rather notable once we zoomed in on it a bit. But it sounds like the game plan you're sort of describing right now is, if needed, you wait him out, because you're not seeing a lot of patrol vehicles get up directly behind him. They're kind of letting him go in and around all of these alleys, make these turns, and just kind of, like you said, maintain a presence while also making sure that people know something is going on. So that way, we're not seeing a lot of close calls that sometimes
I have 150 bucks on
surface streets as the car is kind of barreling through a neighborhood.
Asian, 60 plus, foot pursuit. It says it deployed, but I don't think it's going to hit.
Right now, I kind of missed that we missed it. It looked like they may have tried something there, but we lost visual. Let's see what happens here. There's earlier. Okay, he's slowing down. Now, is he gonna come back at the officers? Which it looks like he.
Controlling again.
It almost looked like he did for a bit.
Yo, fix the goddamn camera, piece of shit. Sorry, I don't know. I should have insulted him. Sorry.
Stopping and playing the images there, but it did look like he at least came to some sort of a stop and got very close to that patrol car.
Yeah, it looked like he did back up into him. So there's another felony on him. Numerous felonies on this suspect. So it looks like we're locked up right now with the camera. But
well, I think, Dave, as we try to.
Thank you.
What are you eating?
Pizza bread.
Just a little bit, but I don't trust this guy. When he slows down, it's
Tzatziki sauce.
ramming one of the units. We've seen it now time and time again. It is what this individual is wanted for. It's assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer. The weapon, of course, being that very large Ford F-350. It's got some damage to it already. In fact, the passenger side rear taillight appears to be out. I see damage to the bumper there as well. And officers did say they thought they saw that one of the tires was starting to go flat. Hopefully that is the case, and hopefully that is what brings things to a peaceful end. But it doesn't really seem to be affecting his ability to drive the vehicle, because he's still able to zigzag through these residential streets. There is another black and white patrol unit that's right in front of the suspect car.
That ends, maybe?
Their officers were saying that they thought perhaps the suspect was trying to chase that vehicle. But it doesn't seem to be the case.
Jesus Christ, it's a dry fuck.
Black and white unit turned, and he did not follow him after that. So we are back in a residential area, making that southbound turn. It's going to be Compton Avenue from 57.
That's dry as fuck, man.
Back in that LAX airspace, which if you are a follower of our police pursuit coverage, you know that when a chase enters that area, we can't quite be right over it because of the landing traffic coming into LAX. So we are at a further distance than we would normally like to be, but we'll continue to follow it here from Alameda, which is where we're parked, and pointing to the west toward this area of South Los Angeles in the area of 58th Street and Ascot Avenue. The vehicle is actually at a complete stop right now, but whenever he has done that the last few times, it's simply just to reverse course into those officers that are chasing him, but he has slowed down completely. There right into that lead unit of the LAPD. And it looks like he's simply going to put
Why is he doing that?
And try to take off yet again. I'm going to push in here as much as I can here. As
they might actually shoot him.
To ram these police units. They sort of tried a pit maneuver earlier. It didn't really work. I heard them trying spike strips as well. I'm hearing the officers say that they think the tires might be bald. So if that's the case, hopefully that will
bald
assist them in bringing this chase to an end. But Hooper Avenue at 58th Street here in the South Los Angeles area, we've got a parade here of police units. We've only got about 6 of them with the lights on, but behind them they've got about another 5 or so. So we've got about a dozen squad cars here behind this suspect vehicle, some with their lights on, some without, but continuing to chase this guy through a residential area in South Los Angeles, 58th and Hooper.
Dry ass bed.
I am hearing them talking about setting up some spike strips.
xQcOW.
But they have to pretty much figure out his pattern, figure out what street is he going to take in order to be able to successfully deploy those in front of him. And they also have to try to not get in the way of the other officers.
He doesn't really know. I don't think, well, obviously he has no idea what he's going to do. I mean, usually we see some type of maneuver where they stick to the streets, they get on the freeways. This guy here is just sticking to the city streets.
And no attempt really to either jump out too, because normally in some of these situations, right, not yet, we want to be clear, it could still very much happen, but you know, you try and find, these folks try to find like a back alley or a neighborhood, a place with a lot of backyards and places that they can kind of jump in and out of, and not even seeing that right now, which goes back and speaks to the highly unpredictable nature of what we're seeing right now.
And we don't know if he's armed, you know, again, like we want to reiterate that these
go back to Monica.
have to be prepared for anything.
Yeah. I mean, any type of high-risk stop with this, it's going to end up being.
It's always the ads reminding me
that's one thing you have to consider. You know, you're going to be prepared. I hate to repeat myself over and over again, but you're always prepared for the worst. You're hoping it's not. You're hoping the guy will give up. But this guy here, I mean, slamming into black and whites. Here we go. I think we're going to be trying to.
Nope, there was an attempt right there.
Quite. Not quite. Not enough.
That's not going to cut it
to get them. But yeah, they're going to try and pit them now.
Is that unusual to see them do that on a street where you've got other vehicles around? I mean, doing it on as
not completely unusual.
Road, or is that something they'll do if they really feel like this guy is going to be putting people in danger? The more they keep going.
Yeah, that could be it. Or that they felt that there was enough room there where they could go ahead and spit them out, and then have the other black and whites come up behind them and lock them in.
19. Thank you for all the content.
So at that point, they thought there was enough time, and that speed was just right. Everything was just right. But now what happens is that this guy here is up in the 70s.
So
this is about as fast as we've seen this suspect go since we broke in. More than, I want to say about 20-30 minutes ago or so. It's just been such an up and down type of pursuit. So it is worth just sort of catching up a little bit as we kind of reset every 5 to 10 minutes or so. That
this is not looking good, Jeff.
In Southeast LA as of right now. We know that the suspect is wanted for assault on an officer and has repeatedly used this pickup truck as a sort of reverse battering ram into a number of cruisers. Once again, we don't know if the suspect is armed. We don't even know if it's just one person in the vehicle or if it's reports more. So we're going to gather more details for you, but obviously we'll continue to monitor the situation. We also have Dave Avila on the phone with us as well. And, you know, it's already been dangerous even on the low speeds, and now it just heightens with how fast this person's going now.
Dave, does it kind of feel like his behavior has changed ever since they tried to do that maneuver to kind of get him to spin him out? Does it feel like he got a little more aggressive, especially with these speeds?
Yeah, I think he finally realized that they're not playing around now. They're not going to follow him forever, that they're actually going to take some action. So all of a sudden now his adrenaline starts pumping, and he starts, he's trying to, you know, get away from them now. And
something feels off about this. Not really.
On the street, so
this is pretty normal.
It always comes down to, you know, the risk versus reward on this thing. You know, we're going to risk continuing the pursuit. The question is he a threat to the public? Yeah, absolutely he is. So we're going to continue the pursuit, and we're going to continue to go after him. You know, then the watch commander is watching this, and they'll decide.
Front by tire looks kind of weird, no?
He looks like something's coming out of the back.
Yeah, the
Is that
smoke.
the tire that you were talking about earlier, potentially, you know, hitting the rim?
What's all that?
Yeah, I hope so, because it looks like we got some smoke out there. I mean, that'll help.
Help what?
Now, it'd be better if it was the front tires, because then it would mess up his maneuverability as far as controlling that thing. But, you know, these tires are big tires.
True,
so,
but with this car's center of gravity, though, I think the back might slide off entirely, though.
Yeah, we're seeing the damage is more clear than ever on the right rear there, and that's probably from the repeated attempts at ramming into police cruisers. There's also been some stuff in the bed of that pickup truck as well. It's just kind of been moving around throughout the night, but it's just a note. I'm still trying to see as we get behind buildings here for a second.
I watch these every fucking day, bitch.
If it's just the driver, if there's someone else in the passenger seat.
How many fucking spike pickup trucks are you seeing? I've seen it.
I know it almost looked like the window was.
He drove through again. For those just now joining us, we watched him just drive right over these railroad tracks.
Hey! Now go in the chat and type an apology. Now go in the chat box and type me an apology, bitches.
Because if you notice, it's not steady anymore. He's not. When he makes like that corner, it wasn't at a high rate. I mean, but he just started to spin out. So I think there is some damage to that left rear, which is going to affect his speed and his maneuverability. They may be able to get another pit maneuver on him.
It would also make a lot of sense because of all that smoke we just saw a couple minutes ago as he was driving a straightaway there, and that was the first turn really that we saw attempted. And
could it not been some of the materials he's carrying?
And on top of all that, like you said, Dave, earlier, that this is a vehicle that's already a little bit more difficult to maneuver just because it's so heavy. So now with damage, it's going to make it even worse.
Is he going to go for it?
Here we go. I think we're going to do it again here. Not quite. But we're working on it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's losing control even without them, you know. But it may just be the way that the tires are moving as they take those turns with that big truck. I mean, yeah, heavy but light in the back. If you've ever driven a pickup truck, easy to fishtail. So that's certainly what.
There you go.
There it goes.
Ooh.
It's, you know, it's so heavy, it just won't spin that much.
I was going to say.
Yeah, it sounds like physics is really having to play a role here because
front left.
Look
at that front left.
Speed or
look at, he's on the fucking.
So to speak, of a,
he's on the locomotive.
Might not be the same, and might actually need even more force to be able to knock it off its axis there, Dave.
Right. Yeah, you can see the desperation. Now he was going on the wrong side of the road, cut up between some cars. Okay, here we go. Come on, guys, we can get it. This one here.
And there you go.
Okay, let's get the. Okay, where's the other black and whites? There we go. Now, this is kind of textbook. This is textbook. This is actually. I love watching this. As far as being a retired cop, this is just so great right now. I mean, this is what the pit maneuver was meant to do, and they're doing it right now. Outstanding job, guys and gals.
Fantastic. Now we'll wait and see.
I see my partner's going to hit on this one.
Sort of standoff ensues because it does not appear that door is opening. Can you see anybody in the passenger?
No, I was trying to make out there to see if there was. It didn't look like it, but there you go. There's the suspect getting out of the driver's side and just surrounded on all fronts. I mean, Dave, like you said, everything has been executed. I mean, fair to say to perfection from that moment that pit maneuver was executed?
Absolutely. Because the unit that executes a pit maneuver, his job isn't to stick, their job is not to stick around, is to hit them and then get out of harm's way. Let the black and whites in the back, so all the ones that are following him, do exactly what they're doing right now.
And we can see he's appearing to talk to, he's got his hands at least out and moving around, almost like he's talking, but is he, you know, holding anything? Of course, that's what they're looking for, to see if there's something in his hand. But it appears,
absolutely. Yeah,
it appears maybe not, but
Yeah, walking out slowly now.
Right.
Well, let's see.
Hey!
It looks like it's making.
What?
the
Is he
person's making their
naked?
way ever
Yeah.
ever
Can
so
you see-
slowly. The vantage
no-
point is a little covered right now
Right.
just because of the front end of this building, but SkyCow is slowly making its way around, so we'll be able to get a clear shot here. But yeah, listening, it looks
Oh,
like
man.
2 officers' commands. At least you would hope so.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
he
right
looks
now,
like
of course,
maybe
you hold your breath, hoping
mid-30s.
that this just ends, you know, with this guy just giving up and not doing anything drastic.
Yeah, what they're telling him to do right now is turn around. They don't want him looking at them, because if he has a 9mm, you know, shoved in the back of his pants, you know, he could reach for it. But,
I'm not,
you know,
part of the
we've
hit,
all
boys.
seen it. You know, throw the keys out, step out, put your hands up, turn around, back up towards us, and he's having a little hard time complying with that. Because we still don't know if he has a weapon on him. And it could be a danger. Okay, there we go. We'll just take him down.
That was
now.
way too.
Outstanding.
They overstacked that, man. Like,
Yeah,
this
no
is
shortage
so
of officers in
stupid.
this situation
No.
either. I mean, and just in case, if you're tuning in at the very tail end of this, I mean, the response is
There is no way this is any
essentially
good for the
justified
public,
in the
like,
sense of what we were
that
saying
many.
at the beginning, where this vehicle,
Usually they
this
kind of cap
driver
out like
in
at
that
like 8
pickup
cruisers
truck
on the
was
ground, the one heli,
multiple
but
occasions throwing
Jesus,
in
man, like
reverse and
I think that was
ramming
like
into the front
13
end
cars,
of,
probably more now.
of
It's
these
so
patrol
stupid.
cars,
What a waste
and
of
then
time.
leading officers on a
Still a waste of
lengthy
time.
pursuit on all of these surface streets in Southeast LA. Now looks like it's ending here in Central City on Alameda Street and East 16th Street. But looks like officers are going through the vehicle right now to see if there's anything else left in there. But that suspect in custody right now. And it looks like we have a bow being put on this very crazy situation.
Facing a lot of felonies, as you
Absolutely.
mentioned, though, Dave. This is a guy that, you know, used his car repeatedly as a weapon against these officers and is not going to be walking away with a very short rap list. That's for sure.
No, this was assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer utilizing a motor vehicle. I mean, can't get any worse than, you know, actually injuring the officer. So no, he's looking at with this DA, this guy's looking at some time behind bars.
And on top of all this, too, almost miraculously, no
xQcOW.
significant damage, or really any damage from what we could tell
No.
during the course of the pursuit to
Oh, wow.
anybody else.
Wow, yeah.
Right? To no residents, no people, pedestrians walking on the streets, no other vehicles.
GG,
that
I
we could
guess.
see
That
on
was
the
kinda- that
roads,
was kinda
and
whatever.
That's quite something.
Chat, who
considering
won
how
the
long
race? Do you guys know?
for a while.
Yeah, you know, Gio and Hunter, you know, and I know people, because I hear it a lot, and that's, you know, Dave, why don't they stop them? Why didn't they do
Classic.
This is why. And you just called it right now. You know, it's about citizen officer safety. Looks like the officers are going to be okay, hopefully.
Yeah.
Citizens, we haven't seen anybody hurt or T-boned. So this is what it's all about. And